Yeah. And I agree with the cycles in wrestling. I mean, even like we was talking about CM Punk was hot in WWE.
Yeah.
Then he had a following out with him, and nobody wanted anything to do with WWE. Well, then CM Punk shows up in AEW. AEW was the best thing that had happened to pro wrestling in decades, because we now have a big alternative. And now with the recent departure of CM Punk back to WWE, now AEW is getting crapped on, WWE is being praised, and it just seems like it just keeps going like a ping pong ball.
It is, but again, as we stated like earlier, I'm just happy for the athletes that they have more than just one outlet. I wish there was like a couple other organizations that would be out there that would rival them as well, because ultimately the professional wrestlers, the athletes, the performers, there's only a few of them that will ever get to a certain level that they'll make good money in that. But when you go into the industry, there isn't any 401k program. There aren't any ongoing health benefits. There's just, you better be savvy with your money. You better save some money. You better invest some money, because sooner or later, when your career comes to an end, and most athletes will never know when their career comes to an end, because it could be a career-ending accident, or the fact that they don't want to realize that they are irrelevant anymore. Their saga has passed. Times have changed, unless they can recreate themselves into something new.
Yeah, and I think that's a discussion that needs to be had too with social media and the wrestling fan. When kayfabe went away and then social media comes in, now the fans think they're supposed to get what they want when they want. They're the bookers. It's became a really toxic environment if you get on some of these, wrestling sites. And now, like, we were so happy when AEW and alternative comes, and now the culture of like people criticizing that company. And I get it. There might be some decisions that you didn't agree with, but guys, if you really are a true fan of pro wrestling, you should be praising the fact that there is an AEW for the people that come out of WWE. Like you said, Dan, everybody's got their moment in the sun. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin had his moment in the sun. Hulk Hogan's, his was, a lot longer than a lot of these guys, but most of them have, if you have a 5 or an 8 year run, that was a really good run in the business. But they still got to live the rest of their life, and they've gave their better years to this business. They need a business that they can go to and keep making a paycheck. So for there to be an alternative, guys, watch being so critical of these companies, because I believe it's good for pro wrestling when we have these alternatives, and social media, I don't think really gets that sometimes.
No, I agree with what you're saying.